We know as a matter of objective historical record that dinosaurs roamed the Earth. We also know, with near absolute certainty, that the sun will rise tomorrow morning. If both of those statements are objectively true right now, where exactly do the past and the future exist? Most of us rely on what we can call calendar thinking. We imagine time as a physical dimension, a container or a static stage that we drift across. We picture the past as a place behind us, and the future as a destination ahead of us. But treating time like a physical landscape instantly creates an unsolvable mystery. It forces us to search for the physical location of yesterday and tomorrow, turning time into a place we can never actually visit. Philosophers and physicists generally offer two ways out of this trap. The first is presentism, the theory that only the current, active moment has any physical reality. The problem here is that if the past is literally nothing, there is no physical anchor to make the claim dinosaurs existed objectively true. This diagram illustrates eternalism, or the block universe. It solves the problem of the past by claiming all moments exist simultaneously in frozen slices. But if everything is equally frozen, the experience of change is dismissed as a psychological illusion. To make these broken models function, theorists constantly have to invent workarounds, proposing invisible ghost timelines to hold past events, or imagining a metaphysical moving spotlight that highlights one static slice of the block at a time. As long as we treat time as a container, we are forced into a paradox. We either lose the objective truth of the past, or we lose the reality of change itself. Changism offers a different starting point. Reality is not a warehouse of completed moments. It is one ongoing global field of action. The world operates through continuous interactions, modifications, and breakdowns. Things happen not inside a timeline, but inside the world's unfolding structure. Under this model, time is simply a human-invented ledger. It is a bookkeeping system we developed to coordinate and compare the different rates at which all this change occurs. A clock does not peer into a metaphysical dimension called time. A clock is just a physical mechanism, like a pendulum, or a vibrating quartz crystal, that counts stable, repeating cycles so we can keep score. This shifts the role of the past. Yesterday is not a distant room we have to travel back to. The past is the living, structured archive of physical records, like fossils and sediment layers, that are currently maintained in the present. The world is not inside time. Time is just the ledger we hold inside a world of constant change. This raises an obvious counterargument. Doesn't Einstein's theory of relativity, the physics framework describing how speed and gravity affect space and time, prove that time is a physical fabric that stretches and dilates? This animation shows what time dilation looks like in practice. It proves that physical processes lawfully run at different tempos under different conditions. Therefore, there is no single, universal now. Every observer keeps a slightly different local tally. We rely on this exact principle every day. The Global Positioning System, or GPS network, doesn't work by referencing a master cosmic clock. It works by actively reconciling thousands of differing local ledgers from moving satellites to pinpoint your location on Earth. Relativity doesn't force us to believe in a metaphysical time fluid. It is simply the ultimate rulebook for comparing scorekeepers in a dynamic, shifting universe. Zooming out, this leaves us with the ultimate question of existence. If there is no timeline, why is there something rather than absolute nothing? To even talk about nothing as a possibility, you need a space of options and basic structural rules to define it. But if you have rules, if you have math, logic, or modality, you no longer have absolute nothing. This makes the concept of absolute nothingness a logically incoherent starting point. The true baseline of reality is dynamic differentiation. The universe is a mandatory meeting engine where systems endlessly interact, couple together, and leave marks on one another. Existence isn't a miraculous event that happened inside an empty void. Constant, restless change is the inescapable baseline condition for a reality to exist at all. If reality is just a chaotic meeting engine, what exactly are the laws of nature? Scientific laws aren't cosmic commands shouted at matter. They are constraint maps, descriptions of what remains stable while everything else transforms. Causation isn't an invisible push from the past. It's simply how new physical records and constraints dictate what happens next. The experience of becoming is physically grounded. It's the minting of new marks, new physical constraints, and new physical facts. We aren't passive passengers drifting through a frozen block of time. We are active participants in a universe constantly building itself right now.